Alyssa Farah Griffin, Whoopi Goldberg's co-host, was interrupted by her during a heated live segment on The View. They were talking about a political joke when she instructed her to hold up. The question of whether it was appropriate for former Vice President Mike Pence to disparage Pete Buttigieg's paternity leave was hotly debated on Tuesday's show. Whoopi, 67, had been critical of the politician the entire time, telling him to find a new joke because his joke wasn't humorous the first time. Alyssa, 33, who had previously worked with Pence, attempted to offer an alternative viewpoint, but the rest of the panel agreed with the moderator. The visitor remarked, "This was a joke that did not land for me." She did point out some serious warning signs, though the joke, according to 54-year-old Sunny Hostin, was lazy and stale. She was cut off by Alyssa, who awarded 2 points. "I do want to note, though, that Pence has been a champion of paid family leave. So I think that's what was the issue for me not landing," she stated. "But that's what I'm trying to get across," Whoopi said. "But I do want us to be careful," Alyssa went on. "I don't want us to resemble the snowflakes we point fingers at. We think it's a joke." Whoopi cut her off, saying, No, wait. Wait a moment. She struggled to put her sentences together and briefly held up her finger. "Those guys are like snowflakes," she remarked. "Yes, I am aware. I believe we should Alyssa stammered as she spoke. Whoopi informed her, "The point is, it was a joke that was bad for other times. It's lazy because he does know better." Whoopi and Alyssa had clashed on live television before. Whoopi interrupted the newbie last week during a heated exchange. Alyssa's remarks, according to her, had nothing to do with what was being discussed. The panelists from The View talked about Walgreens' decision to stop selling abortion drugs, which led California to decide not to renew its $54 million contract with the retailer. Alyssa broke from the discussion to address something else. She said, "But just real quick, back to my friend Governor Newsom, who decided he would take a vacation while people are dying in San Bernardino." She started to say something, but Whoopi interrupted her before she could continue. Whoopi seemed plainly irritated and stated, "That has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now." "No, but," Whoopi went on, and Alyssa joined in. The moderator remarked, "Let's stick to this." Alyssa started speaking again. "You're targeting a company for following state laws," but Whoopi interrupted her. "Well, then my statement was incorrect. There are states with no problems at all." Then Alyssa resumed her speech. "If your doctor prescribes it to you, haven't you discussed that?" Whoopi inquired. Throughout the entire conversation, the two kept talking over each other. Whoopi at last spoke up, saying, "This is not going away. We need to take a break from this conversation, which seems like it will never end. So we shall," Whoopi declared before to the start of the commercial break. Alyssa was interrupted by Whoopi once more last month during a passionate discussion about a certain subject. The women talked about whether younger politicians should be in politics and whether President Joe Biden should run for re-election. In a video, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley discussed term elections for senators and a mental capacity test for people over 75. Following the remarks made by Sunny and 51-year-old Anna Navarro, Alyssa stood up. "My issue is less. We talk a lot about representation on this show. It's less about the age and about the fact that Gen Z and millennials make up the biggest voting bloc in the country." "Yeah, but they're not doing enough to get themselves elected." Whoopi cut her off. "That's the issue." The audience applauded, and Alyssa attempted to interrupt, but Whoopi continued speaking. "And you know what? I just really want to say that I am really sick of people talking about age, because if you can do the job, I don't care how old you are." In an attempt to interrupt, Alyssa said, "Well, exactly, but I don't care." Whoopi interrupted once more. "I think Oh, go ahead." Alyssa attempted to rephrase her words. Alyssa started putting her finger up and attempting to speak, but the moderator just kept talking as Whoopi carried on with her vehement tirade. Alyssa simply continued to nod her head and waited for Whoopi to complete her sentence. The 33-year-old attempted to speak once more, but Anna interrupted with one of her arguments. When she did get a chance to speak, Whoopi again cut her off after she had said roughly 2 phrases. Alyssa only sipped her drink and missed the opportunity to make her point before Whoopi ended her tirade and the broadcast moved to a commercial.